Harvest principle number 3 today, and it comes on the back of 2 other principles that we have discussed. And the first principle, of course, is that you reap what you sow. If you haven't seen that episode, please check out my YouTube page and watch the first 2 principles that we covered. But the second harvest principle was give the seed what it needs. And that's important because sometimes we give the seed what we feel like give it, what we have time to give it, and then expect that it's going to get what it actually needs to bear, to break through earth and to bear some real fruit in our harvest season. And that's not so. Seed has certain specific requirements, and again we went through that in previous episodes. So just type in Good Gas Mondays on YouTube and you'll be able to catch up and see what those 2 principles require of us, because we're using the farming example because we know it's going to take work, effort. You can't just want the orange tree to bear orange. The farmer has to do some work for it to bear the orange. So the third principle is you eat by the sweat of your brow and not by the plan to sweat. We have plans. I'm not going to take it that people don't have plans. We have plans, we have ambitions, we have goals, we have dreams, we have wants, we have needs, we have desires. But you see, no matter how much you want something and plan to have something and desire to have something, until you begin to work on that desire and put action on top of the desire, you're not going to get it. Whatever the it is that you're desiring, you're not going to get it. You eat by the sweat of your brow. You have to sweat, you have to work. And I think too many of us are disheartened when we don't get what we want, having not even tried really hard to get it. Now, it's so important to think about sweat and what it takes to actually sweat, like to perspire. It means exerting effort to the point where you burn fat, right? You burn something in your body that is coming out through on your face as liquid. So you can call it evidence of effort, sweat, evidence of effort. So sometimes you're making effort, yes, but there's no evidence of the effort. Some actions don't give you big displays that I am working hard here. Look at me having sleepless nights. Look at me dropping down and fainting because I'm breathless. And then everything you do, I'm going to leave you breathless. But you eat by the sweat of your brow, which means that if anything you do is going to bear fruit now, because sometimes you can go water the plant, that not gonna make you sweat. But overall, all of the effort that is required for you to eat that fruit from the tree, the plowing of the soil, the planting of the seed, the consistent watering of it day by day, pulling out the weeds, the whole work that you will have to do, you have to sweat in it. And too many times we want to do the pretty work, the soft work, which is important work too, but that not make you sweat. So you'll know that you're doing the brow sweat work, the work that is going to get you food, when you start feel the pressure on your body in terms of the exhaustion. I'm never telling you to work until you pop down and dead and just keep working until you feel like you're going to die. What I'm saying is the brow sweat work, the elbow grease, the shoulder to the wheel work, that is going to be hard. When you start sweat, nobody pack up on the sweat, the tears. Nobody ball while you have to work. Sometimes you're going to feel overwhelmed emotionally. But every time you sweat, you can't ball. Every time it becomes rough, you can't scream, bloody murder, this is hard, people are here and out to get me. This is too hard, I need to stop. When you start to sweat, just tell yourself, say, oh, the food are come. Because it's by the sweat of your brow that you are going to eat, not the plan to sweat. So be prepared to sweat. Quarrel when the sweat is on, right? When the clothes get musty and it starts to stick on your body because you're doing all that work. Do not cry, do not faint, do not get weary, do not give up on the farm and the planting of the seed and the watering of the seed. Keep at it. Keep at it, because it's by the sweat. And that principle is simply telling you that you have to work hard until there's discomfort, until there's a little pain. You have to work really hard if you want to eat. But here are 3 mantras of what I call a failing farmer. Any farmer where you hear I say them 3 something, I just know say when harvest season come, they either will have nothing to eat or the quality of the harvest is going to be compromised. And here they are. I'll start tomorrow. Any farmer you hear that keep getting up and saying, I'm going to start tomorrow, a procrastinating farmer, is not going to have a very successful crop, not going to have a very bountiful harvest, because that farmer is waiting, delaying, and not taking action when the action needs to be taken. So I don't know which farmer you ever know, but I don't know a farmer, not even the smallest of farmers, who says, I'll start tomorrow. The farmer finds something to do every day, because the farmer understands that every season has a reason. So if this season I can't plant, I am preparing the land to plant, because there's gonna come a season when I can plant. If this season I can't prepare the soil, maybe I'm getting a lot of rain, I'm going to look the seed, I'm going to investigate what seed I can plant after heavy rains, what to do with soils to make sure that they recuperate after heavy rains. A farmer always has something that he or she is doing today. And if they can't take the core action, maybe it is to go out and plant the seed, they're taking the preparatory action, understanding the season they're in and the quality of the land and the best seed to put in the soil when it's time to put something in the soil. So any farmer you hear saying, I'll start tomorrow, not gonna have a good harvest. You're looking at your life right now, you have things that you know you need to do, and you're saying, I'll start tomorrow. The more you put it off until tomorrow, your tomorrow list gets longer and nothing gets done today. And by the time you're ready to work, opportunity would have passed. You've gotten maybe disinterested in the goal, whatever that goal is. Physically, you're not up to it anymore. Or worse, emotionally, you don't trust yourself to do a good job at it because you've been delaying and procrastinating so long. You break your own vibe. You break your own spirit. You look on the thing and you say, Jesus, at 3 years, I say, I'm going to do this now. And you can't do all now. So a procrastinating farmer is not going to get a good harvest. Are you a procrastinating farmer? I'm just asking. Are you one of those farmers who insist that, yes, man, tomorrow I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do the best job, but it's going to be tomorrow? And everything is in that never, never land of tomorrow. The second mantra of a failing farmer is, I'll wait until the conditions are perfect. Worse, I'll wait until the conditions are perfect, like theirs. So a farmer is looking around, because there are other people planting. Yeah, other people planting. And you're saying, wow, look at what they have been able to get. I'm not going to start until I have all that they have, and then I will start. So you're comparing. Before you start looking at the land and assessing what you have and how you can start to work with what you have, you start looking at everybody else's farm and say, boy, I'm sure that they had 10 years of training before. I'm sure they had the best brand of tractors. I'm sure they had 16 farm hands helping them. I'm sure they never ran out of water. I'm sure that you just sure say everything did perfect for them, and through everything that perfect for you, you can't start it. A failing farmer is always waiting on the perfect conditions to begin. No man, it look like it's a little overcast, it might rain today, and I need full sun if I'm going to go out there. Wow, the sun look like it's going to be really high today, and I need it to be a little overcast, because you know, my skin can't manage all this sun. Always needing the conditions to be a little bit more perfect than they are. That is a mantra for a failing farmer. So if you are also waiting on the perfect condition before you take your action, you are going to be in trouble. The harvest is going to be sacrificed. And when the season comes for the blooming and the bearing of fruit, don't be surprised if the quality of your harvest is compromised. Because instead of starting where you are with what you have and doing the best you know how to do, and then learn on the journey, right? Because some things you're not going to know when you start, but you can learn it as you go. If you don't take that approach and that mindset, you're going to miss the seasons. And yes, we live in a space of abundance, but we also live according to the seasons. Life has its ebb and flow too. And if you don't do what you should do when there's the dip in the valley, if you don't do what you should do when you're at the peak, if you don't do what you should do when things are cascading down, you're going to miss the opportunity. So yes, it's a space of abundance. You'll always get more ups and you'll always get more downs. But how many downs before you get it? How many ups before you get it? Do you have that much time to sacrifice doing the same thing over and over again? I don't think so. So you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of your seasons and not waiting for perfect conditions and circumstances in order to begin. The third mantra of a failing farmer is this. You ready? It's too small to start with. It's too small to start with. Can you imagine a farmer looking at a seed and knowing that this seed or this nut is supposed to become an oak tree and saying, the big tree that I'm envisioning, this seed is too small to start with? No farmer who's worth a grain of salt would ever say that, because the farmer understands the potential of the seed. The farmer understands the beauty of small beginnings. It's not esteemed, it's not huge, it's nothing that you can parade and show people, say, look how the seed's small, let me tell you, I'm going to turn this into a big oak tree. It's nothing that you can show off. But will you not start because it's not big enough? Because it's not massive enough? Because it's not impressive enough? You're not going to plant the seed? Which farmer you know said that? A failing farmer. Only a failing farmer is saying something like that. So again, as you look at your life, are any of those three mantras sounding like you? Because if you are saying those things to yourself, you're not going to start sweating in order to eat that food that comes from the sweat of your brow. You're going to keep planning. Planning because guess what? I'm going to start tomorrow. So let me use today to plan a little bit. Planning because the conditions aren't perfect enough, so let me plan for perfect conditions. Planning because this seed too small to start with. I can't start with $50. We're going to $50. I can't start with $5,000. We're going to I can't start with 500,000. I need more. This is too little to start with. So let me plan for when I have the more. And so you don't honor the small beginning, and you don't do what you should do in the small beginning for it to compound and multiply. And that is going to hurt you as a farmer. So are any of those three mantras sounding like you? Too small to begin with, not perfect enough to start, or I'll start tomorrow. Just think about it. Where are you saying those things? And if you are, it's one of the mantras of a failing farmer. So let me give you the opposite. There are three laws that every successful farmer honors. The failing farmer is in planning mode. I plan to mode. I plan to do this, I plan to do that, I plan to do this, I plan to do that, and I'll do it when this, and I'll do it when that, and I'll do it when this, and I'll do it when plan to mode. Failing farmers are always in plan to mode, always, never in action. They're never in action because they're planning. Now, a farmer who is in planting mode, because you can be in planting mode and not be planting, but just preparing to farm. So the farmer who is in planting mode is saying one of these three things. In fact, they're saying all three. If I do one thing late, I will be late in all my work. So that farmer is not going to be procrastinating. That farmer says, if I do one thing late, I'm going to be late in all my work. And that's actually how it works for farming. Again, the farmer is at the mercy of seasons, right? So if you waste time in the season where you should be planting, and that rains come before you start to plant, it mash up the soil. You can't put nothing down on the soil now because the soil is compromised. So now you have to delay an entire crop because you were late to plant. If you're late to select your seed, you will also be late to plant. And if you're late to plant, you're going to be late to harvest. If you're late in plowing the land, you're going to be late to plant. And if you're late to plant, you're going to be late to get the harvest. So the farmer understands the urgency and the importance of taking action in the moment. No delay, no procrastination. If I am late on this one thing, I will be late in all my work. Now, I'll do a future live talking about procrastination because procrastination is more than just putting something off. Yes, it's a mood management technique. So if you're a procrastinator, it's a mood management issue you have. And the more chronic it is the more chronic the emotions are that you need to deal with. But I'll talk about that in a separate live sometime this week though, for sure. The second thing that a successful farmer is saying, understanding that they have to start early, right? If I'm late in this one thing, I'm going to be late in all my work. So start early. Farmer get up before sun even up, because they know the power of beginning early. They get up when there's no traffic on the road, no rush, nobody to distract them, right? No sun to exhaust them before them start work. Them come out with them flashlight and then just go and beat the ground and do what they have to do. By 11, 12 o'clock, them can pause for lunch. By 2, 3 o'clock, them can come in and call the day quits, because they got up before everybody else got out the blocks early and did the work. So they can rest while some of us are still hard at work. 5 p.m., 7 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m. We can't sleep. They have understood the power of starting early. And we need early days. One of the things I used to help get me and keep me organized throughout the day is my planner. Sometimes I have late mornings, and I'm not gonna lie to you, parenting makes it difficult to have a solid bedtime for myself or a solid wake up time for myself. But if it's one thing I'm going to do is catch myself in the middle of the day. But my goal for the rest of February is to master the morning routine. I have to get back into that rhythm of a solid master routine. And we're working on that too with our gladiators. A powerful morning routine, a powerful bedtime routine does wonders for your productivity. And part of a morning routine, whether or not you're a morning person, is to start early. Start early. Start early. You can't lose by starting early. So the second law that every successful farmer is honoring is knowing that there is no perfect start, but we can have a planned start. Come again, farmer. There is no perfect start, but I can have a planned start. There is no, we need to explain that one here. I'm just going to repeat it. There is no perfect start, but you can have a planned start. How that sound? The perfect conditions that you're waiting on, can you forego that and just have a plan at the beginning? What to do with what you have right now? Can you have a plan to manage and master what you have right now versus saying you can't start until you get more? Because that's also a sign of procrastination. There is no perfect start, but I can have a planned start. So what's the plan? Show me a plan. If you don't have a plan, get a plan. And if you have a plan, you must can show me. So my plan, I have my plan. I have my yearly plan. I have my weekly plan. I have my daily plan. Plan. I have my financial plan, my spiritual plan, my relationship plan, every plan. Plan. My parenting plan, I have a plan. My house plan, I have a plan. Care plan, I have a plan. Every plan. Every plan. Business plan. I am planning my start. And by having the plan, it affirms to me that I know what I'm doing. So one is, if I do one thing late, I'm going to be late in everything. So they start early. They understand timing and the importance of taking action in a timely manner. Procrastination robs you of the opportunity and the advantages that come with an early start. This concept of early bird catching the worm is because there are some worms that are only out early. There's some worms that are only out early, and if you want it, you have to go and get it. Yes, some other worm are going to come in the afternoon, in the evening, in the night. But there are other worms that are out early. So it's an important principle to master. The second law that every successful farmer is honoring is that there is no perfect start, but I can have a planned start. Where you plan a day with your plan. Hi, Engage Marketing. How are you? Is who that? I don't know. That sounds like one of my YO comrades. They're the ones that call me Prezi. Right, there's no perfect start, but you can have a planned start. So what is your planned start? How do you start your days? What is the plan for mastering your mornings? You know, when you look at the day that's coming up, outside of having appointments, what is the plan for the day? You get 1440 minutes today. What do you want out of them? To go to the appointments? That can't be the only thing. That can't be the only thing. To go there, pick up that, go there, buy that, go there, drop off that, go there, do that. But what's the goal for the day? What's the outcome, the output that you're looking for? What's the result that you want out of the day? And what action are you going to take to get it? Yeah? So I can't have a perfect start, but I can have a planned start. Have a planned start for not just your day, but your year. Things are going to come that throw you off the game, but what a powerful thing it is when you have a strategy that also gives account for the likely hiccups and bumps on the road, because that's what a plan is. It looks at the things that will go right, the things that will go wrong. What will happen if I do that? If this, then that. So you need a plan. You need a plan. Farmers don't plan because they're sure there will not be a hurricane. They're sure there's not going to be a tsunami. They're sure there's not going to be drought. In fact, they have a contingency plan for all of those things. They don't want it to happen, but part of a plan is acknowledging that if the worst happens, this is what I will do. So have a planned start. And then the final law that every successful farmer is honoring, I'm not ask that one here, I know that one here. The law states simply, do not despise small beginnings. Do not despise small beginnings. Where you are starting from is a treasured, honored, and beautiful place. Don't despise it. Honor it. Value it. Make the most of it. Treat it as though it is a prized possession, because you're starting from somewhere. You're starting from somewhere. A place of life, a place of attentiveness and being attuned with the opportunities. A place of decision, because enough people have enough things and can't make a decision. So the enough of them have can never multiply, the enough of them have they will never sustain. You with your little, make a choice, you make a decision, and you commit to doing something and taking action. That's a powerful place to start. Making a decision and then taking action on that. In fact, that's the only way to start something. Otherwise, you sit in it. So honor your small beginnings. There's a scripture that speaks to that. In fact, it's in Luke 16 verse 10. It says, he can be trusted with little. He that can be trusted with little, will be trusted with much. You see, when you take care of the little where you have, if it's a pen, and you treat the pen like it is important and valuable, you do the best you can with the pen, the best you can for the pen, someone will see how you have treated this pen. And before you know it, you get a pack of pen. Because they've seen how you treated one. And they believe that if you can be trusted with little, you can be trusted with much, and you're going to get more. But that is a principle for money too. When you take care of the little money where you have, you take care of the little coins, the little change of $50. If you're in Jamaica, the coins, the silver. When you take care of the little, it becomes much, and you develop a habit of taking care of money. You can take care of much money when you have it. So if you're having money problems right now, ask yourself, how am I taking care of the little? Question I ask myself already, like, how am I taking care of the little? Up to this year, I say, no, yeah, take care of the little. How am I taking care of the little that I have? Because he or she that can be trusted with little will be trusted with much. People now gonna dash resources, opportunity upon you if you don't take care of the little that you have. So do not despise small beginnings, because if you can be trusted with the little, you can be trusted with much. Now, throughout the rest of February, we have actually one more Monday left. We're going to explore the fourth principle. But just to recap quickly, especially if you had missed us in the beginning, we are looking at the 4 harvest principles. The first harvest principle, you reap what you sow. The second harvest principle, give the seed what it needs. And this, or third harvest principle, you eat by the sweat of your brow, not the plan to sweat. And you will know if you are in plan to mode versus planting mode as a farmer. A failing farmer is always in plan to mode and never takes the action. And even if them do it, they don't do it consistently, so they can't get the result. They can't reap anything that they should have been sowing. Or if you ask them, hey man, I'm sowing hard, I'm working hard, but them can't reap anything ever, because they're not giving the seed what it needs either. So here are 3 mantras that failing farmers are using, and you can assess whether or not this sounds like you. 1, I'll start tomorrow. 2, I'm waiting until the conditions are perfect, or I'm waiting until the conditions are perfect like theirs. So you're also comparing with what you have with what other people have. The 3rd mantra is, this is too small to start with. And so you're excusing yourself from doing what you need to do with what you have, because you're waiting on something bigger to start with. But you'll know if you're in planting mode, because that's a plan to mode mentality. You'll know when you're in planting mode, when you're saying one or all of these 3 things. If I am late with one thing, I will be late in all my work, so I have to start early. That is somebody who is in planting mode. Not waiting on the perfect conditions to start, but deciding that I have to start right now. Nothing I'm planning to leave until tomorrow. If you do tomorrow, it's because tomorrow is the best day to do it, not because I'm being a procrastinator. The second thing that every successful farmer is saying is that there is no perfect start, but you can have a planned start. Where your plan, where your strategy, where's your farmer's almanac to tell you what season is coming this year, what to expect in the season, and what action you're going to take in the season. And if the season don't come as you plan it, what is your contingency plan? Where is your plan? If you're a good farmer, you have a strategy and a plan for your farm. So develop a plan. Buy a planner. If I'm meeting you, I say, yeah man, I have a plan to do. Where the plan? Show me the plan. Is it in your phone? Is it in your calendar? Do you write it down somewhere? Where's the plan? Otherwise, it's just an idea. And we have ideas all the time. You go through the day with a million ideas. So don't tell me about the idea. If it's a plan, show me the plan though. If you can't show it to me, it's not really a plan. And don't tell me it's in your heart and in your mind. Enough things in the heart, enough things in the mind. There's not plans alone in there. So show me the plan. Write it out. Give it sunlight, and we spoke about that as part of harvest principle 2. Giving the seed what it needs light. Part of the light is writing it down, laying it out, plotting it. And the 3rd law that every successful farmer is honoring is that they do not despise their small beginnings. They know that if they can be trusted to treat little well, little like the seed, you treat the seed well, you can be trusted with much. Much being when the tree bear and you have a harvest and you can pick your fruits off of the tree. So where are you on that scale? Are you a plan to farmer, always planning to, and it's not materializing? Or are you a planting farmer? Look at the spaces in your life where you always plan to, and you're really not planting. So next week, Monday, we're going to explore the fourth and final harvest.